experience that you could have on TikTok. So welcome, Dorothea. Welcome, Jaime. Our activity tonight, demonstration of different strokes. Dorothea, show us what you were
Yes.
explaining just a little bit earlier.
Yes.
We'll just take about 5 minutes or so to discuss it because
Okay.
this was fun.
Yeah.
I did see in the comments when I asked if anyone knew what the strokes were for drummers to know, and someone said single strokes and double strokes, but that wasn't what I was talking about. As far as stick, what strokes that you use as a drummer, not rudiments, but sticking. So let me get my phone out of the way. The rebound stroke or the full stroke, they're both the same. You start here and you throw it down as if you were throwing a tennis ball. You throw it down, you catch it. Up here, down and up. So I'm going to do the same thing. This is my tennis ball up here. I'm going to throw it down and catch it. So when you throw it down, your hands kind of relax, your fingers relax, but you still keep your grip up here. That is the rebound stroke. The stick is rebounding, or in other words, it's the full stroke. All right. And then there's the downstroke, where you don't press it into the drum head, but you, in slow motion, you hit the pad or the stick, or the drums, sorry, and your stick will come up maybe that far, 2 inches at the most. Don't bring it up and then bring it back down, like a lot of my students I've seen do that. So you have the full stroke and the downstroke, and you keep it there. So it touches the pad, and then you catch it when it's right in that space right there. And then Jaime's going to show you a couple more.
I love that. And so essential, Dorothea, that movement.
Yes, it is very.
So after you hit your downstroke, while you're down there, there's 2 strokes that you could do. You could do the tap, which is just like a ghost note. You drop it while you're low and you end up low. Just a little tap. And then there's the buzz, which is where you're kind of pushing it into the head, getting that buzz. So those are your 2 low volume strokes. Now the last one, Dorothea could show you, and it's going to have the same volume as the tap, but it's going to end you up in a different location.
Yeah. So it's basically, I wish I could get this higher.
Hiya!
All right,
Here's
here's my
like a
pad.
Soul Glow commercial.
So it's the upstroke. So you are here, you hit a downstroke, you're down there, and you want to come back up. So you're going to, on the way up, like accidentally touch the pad, because you're doing this motion here. Down, up, down, up. So on your way up, your wrist does this. And then there's a demonstration in a book, and you get against a wall, and you come down the wall, and then you come up. So you're thinking of a wall here. You come down, and then you come up, down, and up. And
Dorothea,
really
that was in
cool.
a movie. Who can name the movie that was in? Anybody?
I don't know. Drumline?
No. Jaime, movie that was from. Come on, guys.
I don't know.
Oh my God! Anybody in the chat?
I'm thinking Wayne's World, you know. Woo,
No.
woo.
Yeah, thank you, Jen with one
Karate
end.
Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yes.
Paint the
Yes.
house. Paint
Yes.
the fence.
Yes.
Oh my
There you go.
goodness!
And
But that's
so
a great
this-
analogy.
This is the upstroke, and then you're up. So
Yeah.
you start right here, and you
Crane
like
kick.
accidentally tap it on the way up. Boom. But this is how it sounds on the kit.
Which you guys should probably recognize from tons of 16-note hi-hat grooves when they're like.
Yes.
That's it right there.
And
Yeah.
people want to be able to go fast, and they find themselves doing this. So they're all downstrokes, but you want relax.
Yeah, you can double your efforts that way.
Yeah, you don't get tired that way.
Now, you both know that I have been practicing this for weeks.
Yes, yes.
And I will encourage beginner drummers, and even if you haven't learned that technique, if you're a intermediate, just go slow. I was literally doing this at 40 BPM just to learn the movement. And then once I finally learned the movement, I got faster and faster and faster. And I got my right hand up to 100, my left hand's at 70, but just start slow and learn that movement.
Yep.
And for
it's
me, you know,
amazing.
just practicing that accented like hi-hat groove, the bowler technique kind of just came about naturally just from the process of doing that. So
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much
those
for
are the 5.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And again, in the pocket, if you need to see the replay, just go to YouTube in the show, and you could see all the demonstrations from each week, and they are a lot of fun. But you could also see our incredible guest lineup. And tonight, I mean, like, I'm almost speechless because we have a drummer, a performer, a teacher, a motivator, someone who has credits that they literally extend this piece of paper. We cannot even say all of his credits because we'd be here all night. But just to name a few: Santana, Christina Aguilera, Steve Winwood, Joe Cocker, Dorothea. You want me to keep going?
Keep going.
Enrique Iglesias, and the current drummer for the band Chicago.
My favorite band.
Unbelievable, guys. So I want you to give a warm welcome to a great friend of the show, and we are so excited to have him here. He is going to talk about his roots, his upbringing, where he currently is, what he likes to teach, his definition of pocket. And Jamie, I don't know how much more analogies and adjectives and verbs I can come up with until we bring him up. But Dorothea, we're excited. You know what I want to do? Who can pronounce his name the best? Dorothea, how would you pronounce his name?
Walfredo Reyes.
That's really good. You can roll your R's. I can't roll the R's. Let's see. Walfredo Reyes Jr.
Junior.
Jamie, how would you pronounce it?
Wally.
Well, I love that. I love that. Well, are we allowed to call him Wally? I mean, I'm not friends.
He calls himself Wally.
Does he? Yeah. Well, maybe he'll, bless us with the ability to call him Wally. So we're pulling him up, guys. Please forgive us. There's just a few, changes in this particular show. But we thank you for being here. We love you guys. We love the team here at In the Pocket. And we're bringing you not just education and fun times and great drum conversation, but we are bringing you spectacular guests. And we're going to have some fun here with Walfredo. I'm just going to say it like a gringo would, Dorothea. Walfredo. I think that.
Yeah,
as long as you don't say Alfredo.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Oh, he says he's here in the chat.
Trying to find him. I think I just sent the request.
There he is. Yay, there he is. Welcome, Mr. Walfredo Reyes Jr. Oh, my goodness.
You got to press the little camera icon with the slash through it and then hit save.
Okay.
It'll pull you up.
Okay.
We're hearing you loud and clear. We just can't see you yet, but we're getting there. You got a beautiful picture up, though.
Can you see me?
Not
you gotta
Not
hit
yet.
tap the screen. There'll be a little camera icon with the slash through it, and then hit save after that.
Effects, save.
There he
There
is.
we go.
All right.
You. Wow. Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
so we changed the. Am I like this or like that?
You're
You're
good right
good.
now.
You're perfect.
Yeah, long
Yep.
ways.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I know we
All
changed
right.
we changed everything on you, and we appreciate your patience. Oh my goodness, Walfredo.
So-
Hello.
Am I left-handed or right-handed on camera?
That's your left hand that you just hit.
Okay, good.
All right. Are you a lefty or a righty?
No, I'm a right-handed,
Okay.
but I want to say ambidextrous.
Okay.
Really?
You know why? Because in 2014, I had an operation here. My hand was in a cast, and I became a lefty.
Ah.
Oh, we got you.
Wow.
I think you're mirrored right now, actually. Then, if that's the case. But
So yeah,
Includes our imagination.
it looks like inverted.
Yeah,
It
'cause
is,
you
yeah,
can
if you-
you can change that with those 3 dots in the corner.
With the what?
The 3 dots.
Well, I think for him, you'll just press yourself. You'll press your face, and then you'll just hit mirror when your camera settings come up.
Oh, mine doesn't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the host, right?
This is like, yeah, I don't know how to do that.
It's amazing that you could do what you do on the drum kit, but we can't work a phone, and I'm the same way. I get it. It's really fascinating. Well, Fredo, you have an incredible list of credits, but I want to. This is a drum show, and we want to give the drummers and even the fans of drummers what they want. And when they see a snare and they hear that sound, it's like candy for them. I saw a video of you demonstrating your snare. I almost fell out of my chair. Can you show us and just tell us what that snare was that you were playing?
Oh, well, there was two. So
It was the DW, the black with like the cool
Yeah.
signature stuff on it.
so obviously I don't have it here. It's on tour with Chicago, which is nothing that I own, by the way. Nothing is special made for me. It's everything you can get. So that snare that I had is a collector's 14-inch by 6.5 black nickel over brass, which is what I call the black beauty of DW, because I have a black beauty, and if you compare both, they're very similar. If the original Black Beauty Ludwig, once you change the drum head and put a Remo and take that original Ludwig head, it definitely changed the sound. So once you put the Remo on the Black Beauty and a DW Black Beauty black nickel over brass, it's very similar. That's why I use it with Chicago.
Very cool.
It sounded amazing. Now,
Thank you.
You've been all over the world. You've traveled with so many artists. You've worked with so many artists. What do you take away from each of those experiences?
Well, first of all, I was just commenting on a Facebook. I'm just blessed that, I'm above ground through all the ups and downs of life, traveling around the world. I've tried to take care of myself, my body, because, I take this instrument very seriously. And in order, like Dorothea was, explaining, by the way, I love the molder. I took lessons from Jim Chapin a long time ago when I was in high school. And, it's physical. We're like sports people. And we have muscle memory, and we got to take care of ourselves, not just the muscles from drumming, but, mentally, physically. So, I try to take care of myself, traveling around the world, jet lag, hydration. I've never been a guy that smoked. My dad that passed away this 2025, he was a judo guy, black belt, 3rd degree. And when we were growing up, there was no, believe it or not, even though he was a crazy musician, no alcohol, no smoking in the house. And so it was all sports, music, practicing, great diet. And I think that has allowed me to continuously, this is my 54th year of being a professional musician. I started when I was 16, and right now I'm with Chicago, going to start February 13. And we just got to take care of ourselves, practice,
Yes.
physical. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And your father
I love
got
that.
you into music, right?
What was that?
your father got you into music? Because you come from a family with musical roots.
Yeah, but when you come from a family of all musicians and famous musicians from Cuba, and you want to rebel as a kid, so I wanted to become a veterinarian.
Oh,
So I saw Dr. Dolittle and I wanted to be a vet. And of course that ended when the girl scene started happening in junior high. And I wanted to play drums, to be in a band, to make the music that I like the Guess Who, the Grassroots, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. Then came CTA, Blood, Sweat and Tears, that era, 1968, 69. And I asked my dad for drum lessons, thinking that I was just going to learn 3 beats and join a band. And my dad went, oh no, that's not going to happen. So he put me on a practice pad with a metronome, I believe it was the Henry Adler book, rudiments, reading. And I thought I was an abused child. It was like, did Ringo and Charlie Watts do this, Dad? And my dad said, I don't know what they did, but I'm not gonna. This is the way. So I gave him like 4 months of this. Went through the book, and at that particular time, he got a job in Las Vegas, and we were moving to Las Vegas from Puerto Rico. And I set up a drum set that was at the house, and with my 45, applied the rudiments and all the stuff that I was practicing. And my first beat on the drum set with the record, believe it or not, was Honky Tonk Woman. And from there on, I was hooked. However, I thought that Charlie Watts, since I didn't see the video or anything, and I looked at the guys, they have no percussionist. So Charlie must be playing that cowbell. So when I started, I cannot even do it right now, but you know, that beat. So I thought that Charlie with the left hand was playing the cowbell. And since he plays like that anyways, so I had a free left hand, and that's when I started experimenting with the left hand on the percussion.
Beautiful.
I never could figure out why he did that.
I think it was
That one beat.
so he doesn't hit his left hand with the right.
I guess.
You know, it reminds me of Dom Famularo. God bless him. Dom was into Einstein a lot, and he goes, if Einstein would play drums, he would not play like this. He would play like this.
Yes.
Because this doesn't make sense. You know, so that's how Dom played. But anyways, I want to go back, Dorothea. I love the lesson because that's so important. I had lessons with Jim Chapin when I got out of high school. I went to New York, and I had a lesson with him there. And he was the one that. So back then, when I was in high school, I was already playing professional in Las Vegas. I was in the Union, and I was playing shows and everything on percussion and drum set. But my problem was that I was playing drum set, and then I was playing mallets, I was playing timpani, I was playing timbales, like this. So my left hand was like schizophrenic, but my right hand was fine, you know, just like this. Marimba, timpani, drum set, whatever. And this hand was like, okay, this or this. So I asked Jim Chapin, and Jim Chapin said, anything that you can do like this, you can do like this. And I said, really? Okay, so I switched and I said goodbye to this, which, you know, I was pretty hot back then with the chops. But then I realized that I needed to work my left hand equally to my right. So I now have been playing match since 1975. And so
I haven't been doing it that long, but I just can get with the classic rock band that I played, I can get that backbeat stronger and get the rim shot with matched. And so I've been using a lot of matched. But as soon as I get on my practice pad, I find myself doing traditional. It's weird.
yeah, it's weird because I practice like this also on my practice pad. But when I play with Chicago, a lot of people ask me, man, why do you turn the stick around? But this is basically how I play.
Okay.
And there's a couple of explanations why. First of all, it feels good with what you just said, that backbeat.
Yeah.
Plus, on the rim,
It sounds better. Yeah.
this is wimpy. And also on the cowbell, when you play like this, on the cowbell, instead of like, with that match, with that molar grip, because I do that also with the cowbell. I don't know if you can see it here. So basically, when you play like this, you get more of an authentic sound, like the handbell. Go. But notice that it's like squeeze, release,
Yep.
bounce, rebound, bound, rebound. So I'm basically doing pop, 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 and it's like pop, beam, beam, pop, beam, beam, pop on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what you were explaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the concept of. Also, my dad, I remember when we were living in Las Vegas, he took a lesson with Murray Spivak. And it was a rare lesson because Murray came to Las Vegas for a vacation, and Louis Belson connected my dad with Murray. He was booked for 3 years. And so he came to our house, and of course I sat quietly and listened to the lesson. And what Murray was calling squeeze release, which by the way, Chad Wackerman has a great video on Murray Spivak.
Yeah.
Online. So it's basically, like that, you squeeze, but the way up you hit, and the bounce, the molar. I use that unconsciously, paradiddles. That's why I just actually gave somebody a lesson today. And talking about that, I started with the first couple of pages.
Yep.
With wrist all the way, learn the stickings, and then do that, the squeeze release. Paradiddle, paradiddle. 2 on the way up,
Mm-hmm.
and squeeze down. So basically you start relaxing and you waste less energy.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
I love that. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, so there's something I wanted to ask you about, since you're an experienced Afro-Cuban player. When you're playing like standard like Western music, rock music, stuff like that, you feel your music with just like a straight count, and then if you're doing like swing music and jazz, you've got that swing feel, which is based on like the sets of triplets and the 1 and the 3. But when you're doing Afro-Cuban rhythms, there's kind of like a little gray area in there that's not quite swung and it's not quite straight. I find that people that are like immersed in that type of music, they just naturally kind of get that feel. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that the rock and roll has that too, like Chuck Berry. It's like that's what we were kind of mentioning yesterday, the 6/8 swingy or not, or straight eighth.
Yeah.
You can do pa, kumpa, kumpa, kumpa. And what is that? A shuffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Afro-Cuban music when you play. So basically that's kunka. If you notate that, you're going, is this jazz? Because it's ta, tan, 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 taka, tan, tan, taka, tan, tan, taka, tan, can, can, but it's African. So, but there's also eighth note, and then there's like so if I play, I don't know if you can see this, but
Yeah.
you play the clave. But better than to demonstrate. So let's do it a little slower. Oh, I went the other way. No, with the metronome is what I want to demonstrate is basically like the clave is not changing. What changes is, so you're playing. So triplet, 16 notes, eighth note, quarter note, 16 notes, but it's still this. So what happens in African-oriented music, not just Cuban, Afro-Cuban, is Afro-Caribbean, Afro-American, Afro-South American, Afro-anything, is that most African music is very polyrhythmically, but it's basically, believe it or not, it's like 2 and 4, 4/4 and 6/8. But within that, it's just amazing. So it's not like India. I found in my studies, because my hobby, you know, when I don't want to do a squirrel, but when I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet. I loved judo, and I was getting really good at it. And I loved American football. Green Bay Packers was my team when I was a kid.
Me too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Bar star.
Yeah.
So I realized that once I started playing drums and studying drums and percussion, congas, bongos, all the toys, at 24 hours was not enough. So you have to do a sacrifice. And that's what a lot of kids like today that I encounter and teach don't want to give up the stuff. I gave up television. I gave up socializing and a lot of life that was high school dances, all that fun stuff. No football, no judo. It was living drums and music 24 hours a day. The only time I took a rest was to eat. And sometimes my mom made an exception. She will walk into the studio and goes, I'm not liking that you're not on the dinner table. Where do you want your food? On the snare drum or the tom-tom? And then I would eat, yeah, mama, I have to learn this music. And, you know, so I was completely, you can say, had an obsession, you know, which I do. I'm a little OCD. Because when I get into something, when I want to buy a car or learn something, I don't sleep for 3 days. I'm there like until I become an expert at it, you know, so.
I'm like that too.
And that's why you are who you are, I think, because you know, it takes that. And so anyways, going back, I started studying, and I became like, I realized that my sport was going to be drums. My hobby was collecting percussion instruments and ethnomusicology. So I got into Brazil. All the rhythms of Brazil, the instruments of Brazil, percussion. And I got into Nigeria and Benin and all the African countries and Ghana. What is that drum set? And so the percussion world feeds the drum set. So, you know, you bring Columbia music. That's why that app that later on you can actually show, percussiontutor.com, it has all that stuff. And so I became, my business is music, my career is music, my hobby is music, my relaxation is music, and my sport is music. So nothing else. And so I became, studying musicology and ethnomusicology, and I discovered that in the world there's like three fountains of rhythm that went all over the place. One is Africa, China, and India. And India would travel from from east to west to Europe. You can find the Indian gypsies and flamenco music and Spanish. And then, Morocco went into Europe all the way to Ireland. So you find the black hair Irish people and playing the frame drums.
Yeah.
When you really study that was traveling that came, from North Africa. And so like, it's really fascinating and beautiful to even hear, for example, right now we have a rhythm that is really popular, the reggaeton, like a, so you hear it in rap and but when you go back before America was named America, that's a rhythm from Bantu rhythm from Benin, where Benin in Nigeria is. So basically you play it here. And it was in the bamboo. So basically that rhythm traveled to the West, and now you incorporate it in the drum set. So, we're basically on the drum set playing trance music, hypnotic music, ostinato. In the era of Beethoven, it used to be called ostinato. The Ravel's bolero, classical music, means repetition, hypnotic, it feels good, leave it, don't change it, it feels good. And we call it now loops, grooves, because bebop is not necessarily that. It's swing is, but bebop is more like drum and bass, it changes. So that's why this was a classroom lesson that was beautifully taught by Undugu, Leon Chancellor in USC.
Oh, yeah.
And he said swing was swing in music. And the drummer made the people dance. However, afterwards, the rebellious young people in those days, the Dizzy Gillespie as a kid, and the Max Roach, and the Clifford Brown, and all that, went to the clubs to rebel and let the stuff out, and started what the craze of bebop was, which was no dancing, sit down, have a drink, have a cigarette, and go, wow! And it was not dancing, it was virtuosity, 1,000 miles an hour. So there's a lot of music that is dancing, and there's a lot of music that is not dancing. So that's one of the things that I learned, that when, for example, when I go to play or record something, even with Chicago, I see myself, I'm in the moving business. My goal is to move the audience physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally out of their seat. And if I can reach that, and you can too, because drummers, we're powerful. I mean, you don't know the audience at all, and they're sitting down, and all of a sudden you start. People start going. I mean, you didn't force them to do that, but your groove did that, and that is a beautiful thing,
how much are you able to incorporate everything that you've learned around the world? How much freedom do you have with all the different artists that you've played with?
That's a good question. You'll never, for example, I would say off the top of my head that, what I do with Chicago is just whatever salt that fried eggs need. So I have a collection of spices in my kitchen from all over the world, but if they want fried eggs, it only needs a little bit of salt, and that's it.
Yeah.
I cannot put my whole pantry, So with each artist, there's no formula. And this is something that I had to tell my own daughter that sings and plays percussion with George Benson. Liliana, she's a great singer and started playing percussion, and she killed, she was so good. You have to know communication, psychology, sociology, business, and music. But you cannot just come in with what you know and just go, okay, that song is great, I'm going to use. I said, like, what is it that the artist is looking for? Because you might try something and they might like it or they might not like it. And now you cannot get offended. You're going to try to do something else. And so some artists are more difficult than others, The one thing I don't accept in my whole career I've learned is working hard is one thing. If the artist is not happy, I try to give him this or try to give him that, different setup. I've been in the studio where the producer one time drove me nuts. Can we change all the drum heads to plastic see-through heads? Oh, okay. So, let's send a runner to the drum shop. We buy plastic see-through heads and then we tune the drums. And of course, all of that is time consuming. And then we try it again. Bah, boom, boom, bah, boom. Yeah, no, let's try back the white coated heads back on. And then it goes on and on and on. Of course, you're getting paid, but I think I played like 5 minutes in an 8-hour period. You know what I'm saying? So, you try your best, but what I do not accept is disrespect. So, I work hard. Somebody tells me tomorrow, can you learn 40 songs for tomorrow? Okay, what this is the gig. Okay, I'll stay up all night. I'll work. I'll do my best. But, disrespect is definitely not in my menu. And some artists, they get frustrated, and I tend to not take it personally, but they blow up, and they don't know how to communicate what they want to say, what's in here. And you become sometimes like a psychologist, more than the drummer or musician. That's if you're going to make a living doing this.
Or a babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sometimes, well, that having 3 kids, you're absolutely right. I mean, sometimes you have to, just like a baby, exactly. Like, you don't know what it is. Is he pooped? Is he have gas? Is he hungry? Is he thirsty?
Yeah, you just don't know.
You just don't know, but they cannot communicate, and the artist cannot either.
So we were going to do a thing we had talked about between you and Dorothea, playing some rhythms. I was kind of thinking we could call an ad-lib in here. You named so many different styles of music. I think it would be really cool if you could go through a list of different rhythms and just kind of call out, okay, this is, a songo or an ensemble, and see how many we can get you to go through. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay.
Dorothea was mentioning, it's funny because sometimes when you learn a rhythm, I've learned, I didn't go to drum corps. I learned rudiments when I started playing drums. And then once I started finding my vocabulary, I kept on studying. But then you realize that a lot of the rhythms, eventually when you're playing a rhythm, it doesn't matter in what style, which that's my thing, tempo, styles, and grooves. you're playing a rudiment. You know, if you analyze it, you're playing a rudiment. And Dorothea was talking about the double paradiddle, right? So when you play it on the practice pad, it's just da 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 da. That's why I like to practice on the practice pad, and then you bring it here, and it becomes sonic. You know. So now you have sounds, same sticking. So that's just a double paradiddle, right, Dorothea?
Yep. I was trying to think of the Mozambique with Steve Gadd is full of paradiddles and inverted paradiddles.
That's right.
I'll show that.
So you know the Mozambique Steve Gadd did. You know, there's the Mozambique. I mean, it has a whole other story. You know, there was like the carnivals in Cuba, and there in the 1960s there was a guy named Pello el Afro-Cuban, and when he went into the streets, he had a different kind of carnival stuff. But it's like a lot of different pans and cowbells and congas and all this stuff. So if you bring some of those rhythms, you know. So this is like a. So that would be the, you know, there's since we're playing rhythms,
diddles. You can definitely hear the diddles in there.
Right. So there's in the stick control, in the first page, if you turn it around, there's a number 43.
Yep.
And there's 44, and then the inverted roll 45, but number 43 and 44.
And what's the name of that book? The people in the chat are asking the name of that book.
Yeah, Stick Control. This is a book that every drummer should have for live, because you will not finish it. You can count on it.
Yep.
Because my dad died at 92, and he was still finding out stuff on this one. And I'll tell you really quickly how I apply the book, and I haven't finished it. So again, I go through the stick control wrist, practice your wrist, and you know, you take like say a paradiddle, like, but then I accent. Practicing the rebounds. Then you take them, instead of the 2 bars, you take them 1 bar, the other bar, you go this long, like this. And then the other way to do it is you practice your paradiddles and then you replace the right hand for the foot. So now you got. And I'll tell you a really funny story really quick. The first page, this is another favorite of mine because of the little story I'm going to tell you. Number 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the stick control.
My favorite.
5, 6, 7, 8. So when I was in college, Billy Cobham came to the Musicians Union and did a clinic. And he set up his fives drums, the clear fives drums that he was playing with Mahavishnu and all that. And I was talking to him, and I had a gig the night before, and my congas were in the car. And he goes, "You got congas in the car, man? Bring them." So I set up behind him playing congas just to do some stuff. And I was so nervous because jamming to Billy Cobham, he was a powerhouse, and I had only hands. So so I'm playing grooves and stuff like that. And he turned around and said, "Let's tray some fours." I almost had a heart attack, and I was only 19. So I said, okay. And then in one of those, I was doing my best. He played some fours, and then I played some fours. And then he did something. I was playing, and he went, and I froze. I couldn't play anymore. So after the people laughed and everything. So after the clinic, I asked him, I goes, "Man, you play this stuff on the drums, it sounded like a hurricane." I couldn't, I was shocked. And this is what he said. And then you're going to think I'm kidding. 5, 6, 7, 8 of the stick control. And I went, "Oh, okay." And I went, "What?" So I went home and I figured it out. So basically, what he was doing was the first number 5 is a paradiddle. The second one is, the third one is, and the fourth one is. So the fourth one, if you actually do it with the feet, it's like a New Orleans thing. Right, but the way he did it was all of them in a row. So he did. Yeah. So that's just, I've been practicing that and I still cannot get it down like how he did it.
If you are a drummer and you do not have this book, be ashamed. This is the ABCs of drumming.
I agree.
Dorothea,
I
how
teach
does
out
that
of it
compare?
all the time.
How does that compare to the Jim Chapin book? Because there's some comments in the chat that talk about that one too.
It's different.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. But before we forget, you're talking about a rhythm. So number 42 of the stick control is basically goes with that Mozambique things. That is the foundation of what we call a comparsa, Cuban carnival. And which is this. So, I'll play it here so you know the sticking. Okay? So if you put it on the drum set, that's what I play with Santana a lot. Okay? So
I do
if you
that
play
one all
it,
the time. Yeah.
right, so if you play it now like a, so now you can start switching it. And from there, a little different sticking on the left hand. Now you got the songo. That's what makes it beautiful, you know. Now, the other one, this is 43. 44 is the inverted. Start with the left hand. And that was the foundation of Tito Puente's solo. Tito Puente, it starts with, instead of, starts with like, so Tito Puente, when you go like, ba, ba, ah, ah, what I call make the left hand lazy, it became 6/8. So now you got keep the tempo.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So this is just one. This is just one sticking. So what I encourage you, and I know Dorothea, like she said, there's so much fountains of rhythm in this book that was just one sticking, and the one with the left hand, starting with the left hand, you can build a whole drum solo for 20 minutes just on those two stickings.
And the thing about this book, I think that people get afraid of, is because nothing is spoken. Like they don't tell you that this is a triple paradiddle. Triple paradiddle is on the first page, number 16. That's a triple paradiddle. They
Yes.
are the stickings. It's called stick control. They are the stickings of inverted paradiddles, and I mean, you just go down the line of all the things that are in this book that just don't have names yet until you work these stickings, and then you get a rudiment book as well, and you put two and two together. You add these together and they fit, and it's like a bell goes off. Ah, okay.
I forgot what year he started Lawrence Stone, but it was a rudimental sticking. But this is it's amazing, this book. And then, like I said, then I actually have everybody play, instead of right, left, foot left, and you can do either 16 notes or quarter notes. You got rock beats, so now to take it really complex, in Cuba, when there was nothing coming in the 1950s and 60s, or later in the 50s and 60s, somebody got a hold of the stick control, and like Daphne Prieto can tell you that he used to play clave with the right hand and the book with the right and the left. With the right hand on the bell or on the hi-hat, whatever. So if you can do that, of course, start with the quarter note. That's the one thing I know that I'm playing, and I'm trying to condense a lot of info, but always start slow. And when you start slow with a metronome tempo that is slow, stop and say out loud, not slow enough, slower. Because, we all have to slow our lives and our slow everything. So I learned that, okay, I'm going to take it slow. And then it went, wait, slower. And that exercise has helped me not only with my drums and everything throughout the day. Driving, I'm going to get there. I think I'm driving slow enough. No, not slow enough. So that is because now you start looking and have more time to analyze what you're doing. Because when you start playing music, that's not the time to analyze.
No.
You got to get in the zone, what I call the zone. Vinny calls it something else, but it's where the magic happens, and you have almost like no idea what you're doing, but it's happening with the musicians, and it's creating something. Later on, you can go like, oh my God. For example, like there's a little video that I actually put on TikTok of Call on Me, the Chicago song Call on Me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know, like somebody, I forgot who it was. It's a known drummer. I think it was Eric.
Eric Moore?
Yeah, I think it was Eric Moore or somebody from the Gospel Chops, somebody like that. And I'm going, I love the paradiddle you're doing. And I'm going, what? And then I had to look. Paradiddle, where? Well, it's in this part. You can call on me, baby. You can call. I'm doing a paradiddle. I didn't even know.
Yep.
But you got to start. And I'm sure Dorothea has taught, and you guys have taught it also. It's English, whatever language you're speaking, you start when you're a kid developing, school, practicing, grammar, writing, reading.
Right.
Music is the same thing, and so you have to develop your vocabulary. And what we're doing right now is really beautiful because I love to see turning somebody onto something that I learned from somebody else, like Billy Cobham or masters and teachers, or some drummer that I just saw that I don't even know his name. Oh my God, look what he's doing.
I always learn like that from everyone.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. We're in a really, really beautiful art form. And then we make it our own. And then I love to see the person coming up with something. Like I get it sometimes on Instagram or something. It goes, hey, you taught me this. And I went, really? I don't think I even remember the guy. He goes like, did I give you lessons? I know I'm getting older, but I love that.
I like that too.
I think you
Oh, I
gained a
taught you?
lot of. I think you gained a lot of followers today, Walfredo, and
Oh,
we are
good,
honored
good.
that we got this education. It was amazing, guys. In the Pocket Live, we are
With
speaking
Walfredo.
with current Chicago drummer Walfredo Reyes Jr. What an honor! I will ask though, what is the most fun Chicago song to play live?
Well, I got asked this question today. This is the second time. It's very difficult. The reason I've probably lasted so long with Chicago is because obviously I love the music. I love the song, the musicianship. They don't write songs like that anymore. The most challenging and probably fun for the drums is introduction and the ballet from the second album is which has Make Me Smile, Color My World, and a bunch of classical jazz odd time things. The introduction, which is by Terry Kath, those guys wrote it when they were like 19, 20. The other day, somebody sent me a chart of introduction, and I almost fell on the floor because I memorized that song originally. And I just play it. When I saw the chart, I didn't know there was 9/8 and 3/4, and I could not read the chart if they put it in front of me in the recording studio. I gotta tell you, but what I found out, Jimmy Pankow told me that he actually went with a paper and a pencil to Terry Kath, and Terry Kath played him the song, and Jaime wrote all this signatures and whatever he was playing, and then he put the horn parts. And it was Terry Kath's song. He came up with that. So that is the first song of the show. But emotionally, sometimes through different eras, emotionally, I love the lyrics. I always loved listening to the lyrics, and that affects me, you know. Beginnings was the first song that I ever heard CTA play when it came out on the radio. I was putting my little brother to sleep at that time, and I took my bicycle and I went and bought the record. There's also the 80s with the ballads, which I just put one on TikTok, inspiration, when I was married to the mother of my kids. So that's a different era, more mature. And those songs, even though they're more simplistic, they affect me, you know. So it's like backbeat, but what not to play is important. Mm-hmm. And that is something, a lesson we can do in a whole other area. Drummers, we have to be really careful when we go for auditions or playing, because we have so much vocabulary. You know that example, too much salt on the eggs? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have the salt. We went through great hardship to travel, and I collected this, and I got sea salt from Himalayas, and I got this, and somebody asks you for 2 eggs, and they say, I don't even want salt. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, so I guess I'll take a rest. So that is very important, because what a lot of artists and bands don't do is be forgiving. And you can be playing great grooves and all that, and they're going to do something, and you go, and it clashes, and they go, oh, I don't know about this drummer. Oh, this drummer sucks. And you've been playing 99.9% amazing stuff. So I've learned that sometimes it's better, like Steve Ferroni said on an interview, well, sometimes when I'm grooving and I think of doing a fill into the chorus, don't. And sometimes
that's good advice.
that is sometimes important. And then when he said that, my dad used to have a phrase, when you're playing with dancers, he told me that, and some cultures, dancing is really serious. And that's a whole other episode. Also, when you're playing dancing music and the people are dancing, and my dad told me this a long time ago, don't disturb the groove. Don't disturb the dancer. So what does that mean? This guy spent a whole lot of time looking at this girl, bought her a drink. They dance on the dance floor. Now they're talking. The connection is happening. You're going to play a slow groove dancing, and the guy is dancing now, and they're going in love, and you're grooving, and they're dancing. Then you go, oh man, these tom-toms look really good. What the hell happened here? You know, so if you groove and for 10 minutes and there's no tom fills, or you don't touch the cymbals or whatever, that's okay. You know, but don't disturb the dancer. Don't disturb the groove. Don't leave the groove to do a drum fill if it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
You've
Good
given
advice.
us some amazing advice this last hour. What just finally, what's up for 2026? What's on the calendar? What do you want to promote as well?
Well, okay, I don't have a budget for a record, so I've been doing my little trio here in Cincinnati of tunes that everybody loves, no original, and it's Walfredo Reyes Jr. trio. I have 8 out there as singles, and it's really beautiful music that you can actually put at any party, whatever. It's not super drum oriented, but it's just tunes that everybody can dance, or you can put in your house at a party, and it's with my trio. And so with Chicago, we start February 13 in Las Vegas, and then go all the way to June. And then in June, we start a big tour, Chicago and the band Styx with Todd Zuckerman, up until September.
Oh man, I want to come and hear that.
You're on the guest list already.
I would love
I know. I
that.
wonder if you're. I wonder if you're coming to Chicago. If you're coming to Texas.
We are right now. I just don't know where, but I think Dallas. You go to chicagotheband.com/tour, and yeah, it's in my TikTok actually. The when I just joined TikTok like about less than a month ago, so like some of the first post is that tour schedule, and
guys.
Todd and I are really excited, and because it's really weird. This is a drummer thing. You can call it ego, whatever. But, Todd got this new drum set that I saw, by the way, when they came here to Cincinnati, where I live, Newport, Kentucky, Cincinnati. It's a beautiful sonar set. Then my drum tech said, Wally, you've had this drum set. It's a DW's drum set that everybody loves, looks great, sounds great, which is on TikTok. You can hear it right now. But you've had it since 2019. What are you going to have for the 59th and 60th anniversary of Chicago and the tour with Styx? And I said, nothing. I love my drum set. And he goes, oh man, we got to get another drum set. So I am. So It's a new design with the fire and the drum head. And it's just probably the same. It's probably going to be maple shells and nothing super fancy, but it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, can't wait to see it.
Fantastic. Well, if you have not hit that plus sign, just started your TikTok journey, and we're so glad to have you on the platform. I'm a huge fan of you. My wife just adores Chicago, so we're going to try and make it to one of the shows as well. You're welcome back here anytime, Walfredo. This was so educational. Great advice for all drummers of all techniques and talents and skills. And this was really an honor, sir. And we appreciate your time. And my goodness, this was just amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I learned a lot from you guys, too.
Well, from them.
Thank you so much.
From them.
Thank you. It's been a real honor to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You want to play us out? You want to play us out? Play something?
Sure. Sticks or brushes?
Anything you choose. Guys, it's In the Pocket. You can see us on InThePocketLive.com every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and catch the replay on YouTube, In the Pocket Show. Thank you to Walfredo Reyes Jr. playing us out here on Monday evening. And thank you, sir. We love you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Catch Walfredo on tour this year and hit that plus sign next to his name and follow him on TikTok. And thank you again. We really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, my friend.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
I hope that sounded good.
Later. Thanks for joining us.
Sounded amazing.
Thank you. I took the muffling out.
Good, yeah.
2 snares, the ringy and the muffle.
You sounded incredible.
Sounded good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dorothea, for all you do, and thank you guys. You guys are great. You have a lot of great energy that attracts people that want to learn, and I love your energy, your visuals on TikTok, and it's just beautiful. Now, let me ask you a question. When this is done, can I see this somewhere and post it?
Yes. So we have the full episodes we post onto YouTube, and we do highlights on the other platforms, and we can send you a copy as well.
Oh, okay. So
We'll send you some little small snippets that you can post on your story as well.
great. So it attracts to the link.
Well, we're gonna send it to you. So I know Jamie or Charlie has your number, so we'll send you a link to the full show, and then we'll send you some snippets as well. You can post.
All right.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
To
we definitely want
advertise.
you to have that access. Yeah. No, we love it, and we're so grateful. So.
All right.
Cool. All righty.
You
So-
were incredible.
Thank you. So I think somebody was asking before the show. I thought that we're gonna Dave Abruzzese wanted to get in, but that's for you guys to contact him. He's such a great, nice guy. He played with Pearl Jam,
Yep.
and but
Let's get him too then.
he's such a great, nice guy that he's always on Facebook, and he's one of those guys that, like Facebook, as you guys probably see, it's just so many craziness today that I use the block button a lot, but so many mental cases. So I just try to keep it clean and kind and educational, and
Yes.
anybody that starts blasting, crazy stuff. But Dave is always like one of those guys that is such a great human being, and he's so cordial on his posts.
Okay.
And so he has a lot to add, and the story of Pearl Jam and all that. So
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we would
We're
love to have
open.
him on the show.
I would
Yeah,
love
we're
it.
open to talk to anyone.
all right, I'll let him know.
Okay.
We'll talk to the guy that plays buckets on the street, and we'll talk to the drummer of Chicago.
Yeah, that's the way I am. I mean, there's some drummers out there every day I see like, oh my God, this guy. Again, we were talking a little bit about it yesterday. What I usually at this point in my life, not that I don't have to work anymore or anything, but I try to help because it's just like so much. A lot of the young kids, they're playing, and some of them are okay. They're making a lot of money in their own rooms. They never played with a human, ever. Like I met a few.
Yep.
That amazing what they're doing with tracks. They take the drummer out on whatever, Moises, whatever, and they just play amazing stuff. But, there's a thing where it's like, what can you do if you are put in a job situation to play music and styles? And,
What would happen? Yeah.
yeah, what would happen? So that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to help a lot of these young people that are so amazing. They got so much technique already, and they got facilities that are amazing, but just sometimes they don't know, or sometimes they go to an audition and they come back and go, what happened? It goes, oh, I think they didn't like me, and probably they put too much salt on the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm, as a teacher, half of my students that come to me, I tell them, you have chops for 5 lifetimes. I'm not going to teach you any technique at all. So I turn them on to books and all that, and to other videos, and basically try to teach them styles so they can survive,
Yeah.
So it's a challenge as a teacher, don't you think, Dorothea?
Oh, it is definitely. Yep.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
Man, we
Well-
gotta have you on for part 2 because this week we could go on all
I know,
night.
I know.
But we're
We
way
gotta
past
cut it.
Dorothea's bedtime. I got a kid who's ready to say goodnight to me. Jamie has
Well-
a live. Jamie has a live show coming up, which
Afterwards,
is
probably.
so much fun to watch. If you haven't watched that, go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Oh, let me know, and I'm on it. I'm going to watch it.
Cool, yeah. Here at top of the hour, we'll be going live on Drummer's Diary as well. So thank you,
Okay.
everybody, for tuning in.
Cool.
Thank
Yep.
you, Walfredo.
Thank you.
You.
This is a great show, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right,
Paul,
take
yeah.
care.
Bob Alfredo.
Good night.
Night.